Hello, and welcome back to Scouching's 2019 NHL Draft Profiles. We're going to be looking at the Pittsburgh Penguins today, and the Penguins weren't super busy. They're pretty well known for trading away pretty much every pick they ever have, but they had a first-round pick this year, which is pretty notable. And with the 21st pick overall, the Pittsburgh Penguins kind of went off the board to some people, but I'm not particularly surprised that they went with Samuel Poole. I really like the gutsiness of this pick. I think Poole has really nice upside when you consider everything that's in his package. He's a big, powerful winger who does have some nice skill and can show some nice skating ability. I think he's an underratedly creative offensive player who brought a lot to the table on a not-so-great Sherbrooke Phoenix team, and I think as that team improves, he will improve along with it quite a bit. He's a really versatile and developed player, and I'm a big fan of this pick. There might be better players that went off the board later in the draft, but I think he's going to be a nice fit for Jim Rutherford's Penguins. At 74th overall, they took a swing on Nathan LeRa, who is well known as a friend of Samuel Poole. I've seen flashes of LeRa that I really like. Around the net, he can be very dangerous, and he does have some nice skill, but I really found there wasn't a tremendous amount outside of that play around the net and slap pucks in the net kind of play from him. He wasn't great in transition, his line mates were very, very talented, and it's going to be interesting to see how he does when guys like Ivan Chekovich move on to the AHL this season. I think he's a player that could play in the NHL as a complementary player, park him in front of the net on the power play to put pucks in the net. He does have some nice skill, but I'm just not sure there's a tremendous amount of upside. And at 74, I think there might have been some better picks for the Penguins, but I'm not really willing to complain too much about it. LeRa just strikes me as a player that you could probably pick up in free agency on any given year, but if you can get him on an ELC and he can be a complementary piece, then that's a win too. The Penguins didn't pick until 145th, and they took Judd Caulfield. Similar to guys like Owen Lindmark, he's a solid physical player on the national team who played a good depth role on that team, but I never came away super impressed with him on the whole, especially when you consider they went with heavy forwards like Poole and LeRa earlier in the draft. I really thought they might go for something a little bit different, especially when they went with names like Justin Almeida and Kalen Addison last year. Guys like Luka Burzan, Reese Newkirk, Josh Nodler, Yegor Serdiak, to me would have all been better bets in this range with a bit more upside that Pittsburgh could have used in their prospect pipeline. But such is life. Energy forwards can be valuable as well, and we'll see where he goes. And to close out their draft at 211, they went in an interesting direction and took defenseman Santhu Ayatollah, who went undrafted last year but was above 20% involvement in the Finnish Junior League this year as a defenseman, which is pretty notable. Now, someone like Ilvari Rasanen might have stuck out a bit more to me at this pick, but I can't really say anything negative about it. I haven't seen a tremendous amount of Ayatollah, but for a guy in this range, I can't really complain. It's an interesting pickup, and he does produce even when you consider how old he is in the league he plays in. So if you've seen any Scouching report videos, we're going to transfer the same rating system into these videos, where the number is going to indicate the potential level of talent that could come out of this draft crop, and the letter indicates the likelihood of reaching that level of talent. And with the Pittsburgh Penguins, I think they played this year's draft relatively safe, so I'm going to give them a 3A. I don't see a tremendous amount of upside in someone like Samuel Poole, but I'm pretty confident saying he could be an NHLer one day and be a good complementary piece. With Nathan LeRa, he might be a player that could be a dime a dozen in the NHL, but to have your own who you drafted and you developed does look pretty good, and I think he could be an interesting player for the Penguins. I don't know how much of a dynamic offensive presence he'll be, but I'm relatively confident that he'll at least get a good cup of coffee in the NHL one day. And with Caulfield and Ayatollah, I don't really know where these guys are going to end up. I thought there were better bets to make than Judd Caulfield at that pick, but I'm not going to complain about it. And with Santhu Ayatollah, if they like him, they like him, and with 7th round picks, who knows? So if he turns into anything, it's a win for the Penguins. So that's it for this one. In next video, we're going to be moving on to the Dallas Stars. If you liked the video, be sure to click all the buttons you see below me so you never miss another one. And if you really liked it, you could support us on Patreon, where you get access to spreadsheets for drafted and undrafted prospects, as well as private chat rooms and plenty of other goodies. Or you could pick up some merchandise from the Scouchwear shop. All the links are in the description. So thank you very much for watching, and be sure to tune into the next one where we profile the Dallas Stars.